Thank you for taking a few minutes of your time to learn about modernizing enterprise printing. Modernizing IT infrastructure has been going on for the last 5 to 10 years as more and more of corporate infrastructure gets moved to the cloud and more application software gets developed for cloud usage. However, until recently, that trend has not included printing infrastructure. That's beginning to change. Recent IDC survey of enterprises found that nearly half of those enterprises are now considering moving their IT infrastructure for printing to the cloud and modernizing that. We're here today to talk about reasons why you may want to go beyond just looking at modernizing your printing infrastructure and reasons why you should be doing it and doing it now. Over the next few minutes, we'll talk about 5 reasons why migrating your printing infrastructure to the cloud makes sense, and it makes sense today.
Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, recently told all Microsoft employees that they were going to prioritize security above all else, above innovation, above making changes to add new features to their products, security above all else. That's how important it has become in the IT world, and it's consistent with what we hear from our enterprise clients as well. Security is not a trade-off against features or other requirements. It's a bar one must surpass. For Microsoft, 9% of all Windows security cases reported to the Microsoft Security Response Center are print-related. Think about that. Print, and oftentimes viewed as a small component of an operating system, a small component of one's day-to-day work, creating 9% of all Windows security cases. It's astounding. But 2 reasons make print vulnerable and lead to this reality of security issues. Number 1 is the print process is point-to-point. Endpoints, computers need to talk to endpoint printers, and in many cases, these are bidirectional. So communicating point-to-point creates security vulnerabilities and concerns. The second is that the print process itself, print drivers, because they interact with so much of the application sitting on the desktop that end users use, that technology reaches deep into the operating system, and it has high privilege. So it's a ripe area for people looking at how to get into organizations, and it's why we see so many vulnerabilities being reported in the print system and print subsystem. These vulnerabilities are being addressed in 2 ways. Number 1 is zero trust network architectures. Eliminate point-to-point communications and interaction as much as possible. The second is something that Microsoft has introduced called Windows Protected Print. It fundamentally redesigns the print architecture. It was introduced in Windows 11, but it's not the default configuration, and it's not the default configuration for a good reason. Both of these changes, whether we're looking at zero trust network architectures or whether we're looking at redesigning printing along the lines of Windows Protected Print, both of them break printing as we know it. Printing as organizations deploy it today, print servers, print drivers, and the way that the printers operate fundamentally breaks in these 2 scenarios. However, cloud printing is based on zero trust. And cloud printing generally should, if done well, embrace the Internet Printing Protocol, which is the core of Windows Protected Print. So by shifting infrastructure to the cloud, you solve both problems in 1 step. A well-architected cloud solution be designed with zero trust security, and it will embrace Windows Protected Print and the architecture of Windows Protected Print as the secure method for printing out of the box. Second, Supporting hybrid workers is not an option anymore. It's a necessity. And studies show that the quality of how we support hybrid workers and what their experience is can be the difference between retaining an employee or losing them. Since most print systems are on premises today, they're not designed for hybrid or mobile employees. Static relationships between employees and printers, direct connections, demanding that employees be on the corporate network, either within the corporate environment or using VPN or some other tunneling technology. But these are vestiges of an old guard of how printing works. Continuing to support only this type of printing creates problems for employees. It also creates problems for those who are supporting employees. Cloud technologies are inherently designed to support flexibility and mobility, supporting employees where they are, at home, the office, the coffee shop, traveling. Cloud printing as a technology is no different. It's a matter of modernizing the way that printing works to keep up with the way that people work. By managing printing through the cloud, you not only make it available anywhere your employees are working, you make it flexible to support traveling employees. This mobility is not just about employees. Enterprise networks are becoming far too complex to support the growth needs of the modern enterprise. As a result, non-fabric corporate networks, remote branches, or remote locations not being a part of the corporate network is becoming standard. This creates a similar issue or a similar manifestation of the same problem. How do we manage printing when we don't have network line of sight to users and printers? That's exactly where a cloud printing solution comes in. It fundamentally handles the issue of complex corporate networks with hybrid mobile employees simultaneously. Thirdly, data privacy requirements. Data privacy requirements are complex and they are global or regional. Data security and compliance is becoming increasingly tricky for enterprises to manage. Small global support teams managing a print environment globally need to be able to support different regions under different compliance regimes like GDPR in Europe. Traditional print management systems are designed to centralize the way the printing and data collection works, making it impossible, or at least very expensive, to support global compliance and the complexity of that data. Cloud systems can be different. Cloud systems are designed modularly. They're designed for global enterprises and can be configured to modify what data is collected, where it is collected, how and where it is stored, whether it's obfuscated, and to do so by employee, by network region. So updating and keeping track of and supporting data privacy around the globe requires you to rethink how you look at your printing infrastructure. Fourth, and my particular favorite, given the strategic importance of IT in every industry today, IT efficiency becomes less about financial return than it is about return on attention. How are your critical IT resources spending their time? Time is the one resource of which we cannot create more. So it's about how you spend it. And I know of no organization in the world that's looking to increase the time their IT resources spend on printing and print operations. As one global banking executive recently put it to me, we just want to outsource all of it. However, the reality is their team is managing hundreds of servers. They have custom-built asset management tracking for printer acquisition and for deployment. And for each printer that they connect to the network, they spend more than 2 hours unboxing the printer, connecting it to the network, and getting it ready for use. It's about time and attention. Cloud-based solutions solve many of these problems. Getting printers on the network shifts from hours to minutes. Support of servers and print services doesn't go away. It just shifts to your cloud solution vendor. For Pharos, ensuring our cloud platform is up at all times to support our clients is paramount. Printing isn't a strategic corporate service until it doesn't work. Then it becomes strategic quickly. Our cloud operations team routinely achieves 100% system uptime quarter by quarter and has achieved greater than 99.99% uptime, even including more than 4 cloud software releases per week. Share that reality with your IT team as they face upgrading hundreds of print servers, usually having to do it in the middle of the night while the operations are down and people are not going to be printing heavily. You'll bring a smile to their face. And that's before you even begin to talk to them about the time they spend on backup and disaster recovery. There is no reason for enterprises to be dealing with on-premises print service in today's cloud-based world. Their attention to strategic issues is where they should be focused. British mathematician and entrepreneur Clive Humby said, "Data is the new oil." He said that in 2006. Peter Sondergaard expanded on this with his quote, "Information is the oil of the 21st century. Analytics is the combustion engine." He said that in 2011, both prior to today's AI revolution. Data and analytics are even more valuable today. There are 500 AI companies worth more than $1 billion, and 100 of them were founded in the last 2 years. To compete and manage in today's world, businesses need to be able to capture and measure the world around them, and that includes printing. How much printing is being done in my organization today? By what departments? By what people? No matter how we cut this data, we see the Pareto principle implemented. 80% of the cost from less than 20% of the departments, people. But which 20%? And what applications? Printers go down without support being worked until they all go down on a floor or in a department, and the situation goes from green to red without organizations even knowing the trouble was. Organizations buy new printers without knowing that they already have printers in their fleet, printing less than 3 pages per day. Employees hotel to new floors or new buildings and spend 15 to 20 minutes figuring out how to connect to the printer in their new location before they can print their first document. Optimizing printing for employees and optimizing costs for the enterprise depend upon data. Supporting employees depends upon visibility to printers, printing when they need help. Cloud-based solutions collecting centralized data. At best, also make that data available to other systems through APIs, data warehouses, and data lakes. There is no reason for enterprises to be flying blind on data or spending a lot of time tracking it down. Integrated cloud systems can do that for you. As long as printing exists in our enterprises, we don't see it going away anytime soon. We can't ignore it. Doing nothing will create security risks, violations, employee dissatisfaction, frustration, compliance risks, excess time and cost, poor decision making. Now, in my 30 plus years in printing, software, and now cloud operations space, I can't think of a single example in which printing led a market transformation. And we're not talking about printing leading a transformation here. It is simply time for printing to follow the cloud transformation that is and has been upon us. There are far too many reasons and advantages to ignore. If you're ready to learn more about modernizing your printing environment, we're here and ready to help. Reach out to Pharos to learn more or request a demonstration of what our cloud print operations can do for you and your enterprise. Thank you.